See if this thing is working. Hello, Periscope. Let's see if the third time's the charm. Hello, 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 hello. Hi, Broken Silence. I'm late this evening. Hi, I was having some technical. Am I coming up frozen on you guys' end? I think that's one of the problems I've been having this evening. Why I couldn't do it at my regular time. Welcome to Periscope. Thank you for the hearts. Okay, good. Good, good, good. Maybe it's going to work for me this time. I tried to do it earlier and it was being stubborn. How's everyone doing this evening that's popping on? I'm real late. I'm never on Periscope this late. How's everyone doing? Can you hear me real good? I think Periscope's been kind of tripping. See if we get a few more people on here. Hello, 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 hello. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Hopefully Periscope will work for me on this end. But my name is Delmar Johnson. Oh, hey, Joanna. Hi. Okay, so you guys can hear me. It's like I'm on real late because my internet or whatever wasn't working well, or it was Periscope. I don't know what it was, but here we are now. And I'm going to make this quick because it's getting kind of late if you're on the East Coast. Tierra is strengthening me. I know she is. I know you don't even have to tell me, Joanna. I know she is. I know she is. I mean, I know it's going to be just a great explosion when her and Rhonda get down to the Virgin Islands next month. Most definitely. But I'm going to go ahead and jump in because I just want to touch on this topic because of a conversation I had yesterday. But my name is Delmar Johnson. I am the president of Delmar Johnson Enterprise, and I'm your chief HR brain with HR Brain for Hire. So I'll welcome you all who have joined me this late in the evening. I'm going to get back to my regular scheduled time at 7 o'clock. But again, we had some technical difficulties earlier, but we're going to keep pushing through, right? So I had a conversation yesterday that kind of sparked this for me to talk about how are you talking and how are you communicating with your team members, whether that's interns, contractors, or employees, the people who are supporting you in your business, whether you're a small business, a medium business, or even a large business owner that may be listening to me right now. How are you talking to the people who have formed your team? And typically, a lot of times, your team members can be of different ages, right? Can be of different generations. And I thought about generational communications because we're living in a time now where there's four, especially if you're in a corporate environment, even if you're a corporate professional person that's looking at that and looking at this, there are four generations typically under one roof in a corporate America society. But even in a smaller business, or a medium business that's still growing, and still building their team, you may still have different generations. So somebody in your team, in your group may be, 25 years old, 30 years old, where another person may be, in their late 40s or 50s or whatever, but they're still part of your support group, but they're from two different generations. So sometimes we have difficulty in how we're communicating with those people who are supporting us, who are from different generations, because different generations communicate differently, right? There's four different generations out there now. You have what they call traditionalists. You have the baby boomers, who make up really statistically the largest of the employment population out there. You have your Generation Xers. Okay, I'm a Generation X baby. Okay. And then you have your Nexers or millennials. Okay. So it's two different, it's either Nexers or millennials that people will call the new generation now. And then the generation behind that is Z, but they're still little. So they're not even in the workforce yet. So there's different ways that you need to communicate. So the reason why I brought this up is I had a conversation yesterday with a lovely young lady who started her business, and she's 30 years old, and business, was booming in what she's doing. And because of the market in the area that she's living in, it kind of pulled back where she had to let some of her contractors go. Well, she kept some of her contractors, and those contractors are older than her. Okay, they're in the late 40s, 50 range. So as I was listening to her, and she was trying to figure out what her next step should be since the market has slowed down. Should she go back to work? Should she kind of balance it out? And said a lot of us are parallelpreneurs where we may have some other consistent income coming in, feeding into our dreams. Thanks for the hearts, guys, and thanks for hanging with me. I'm trying to make this quick since it's getting late. So she wanted to know, just giving her some tips on my free consultation call with her, maybe some of her next step, her next move. So she was letting me know that a couple of her contractors were kind of beefing, if you will, kind of in conflict, because one person thought they was kind of getting over on another, on their co-person, on their co-contractor, getting more work than the other. And the way it sounded to me was they were still in employee mindset, right? And when I found out they was older, and the more she kept telling me, I said, oh, there's generational communication gap. It's like you have to know how to speak to those contractors that you have. And she was really speaking in employee language. And that's something else. Be careful how you're using interchangeably employees and contractors. Contractors are not your employees. Employees are not your contractors. Okay. She had contractors, but she was using the language employees, and she had put a contractor on a written warning and suspension. Those are employer-employee language. That's an employer and employee language. So when you're talking about contractors, really use the word contractors and not employees. Okay. So you can make a distinct difference in that, because you don't treat employees like contractors. And again, you don't treat contractors like employees. So it was a generation of communications, and it really clicked with her that how she communicates to them, and they're doing this beefing, but they're coming from an employee mindset doing contractor work. So they're still in this beef. It's like, okay, that person's getting more work than me, and that person got more calls than me. I said that was generational communication gap. So some of the things, I just want to give you 3 quick points of how you can begin to deal with generational communications in your business, okay, or even if you're still in corporate America. First of all, you need to be flexible. That's number 1. Be flexible and open to new ideas. There's nothing wrong with the differences that are going on, but you have to be open and communicate that. Thanks for the yellow and purple hearts. I love it. Golden purple hearts. I love it. So you have to be flexible and open to new ideas. Differences are not a bad thing. Okay. Our differences is what make up, what makes the world go round, right? So you want to be flexible. Again, this is going to be quick, guys. Number 2, initiate open communication about your team members' needs. What needs do they have that you may not be aware of that may be causing that maybe that friction or that conflict in the communications? Okay. Again, maybe generational communications means that you may be one age, maybe from the millennial. I may be from Generation X, and another person may be a baby boomer. We all have certain needs that we want to be met. So you need to know that even as an employer, as a small business owner, what those needs are of your team members. Another one is make sure you get everyone on the same page about what work formality is for your organization. Okay. What does that mean? I always have notes. Okay. So times change, right? Baby boomers think differently. And I think I lost my notes. Baby boomers think differently. So you have to approach them differently. Millennials, they're all about the technology, right? But millennials all about the technology, but baby boomers might like you to communicate with them through email. Okay, through email, through a written letter. Now, you may not even, do written letters in your organization because we're all email driven, right? I think baby boomers refer and relate more to emails, whereas your millennials that may be working for you may communicate better through text. Through text messages, through, instant messages. That's how they operate. They're talking that text message kind of language. So you want to, there's different multiple there's multiple ways to communicate to those that may be different generations in your company. So I'm kind of go back because I kind of went back and forth. So I'm gonna go over those real quick again. First of all, be flexible and open to new ideas, because new ideas can actually grow your business. Whether no matter which part of the generation that it's coming from, whether it's the baby boomer or the millennial. Okay. So differences are not bad. Number 2, initiate open communication so you can find out what your team members' needs are, so you can know how to address them accordingly, according to how they relate to you as their employer. Get everyone on the same page with the work formality, whatever formality that you set in your work, whether that's a particular dress code, whether that's a particular policy or standard that you have in place, so everybody can be on the same page in the direction that you're going as a business owner. And then use multiple, I'll give you a bonus because I said 3, but I'm giving you 4. Use multiple communication avenues. Some people, again, may like text. Others may like instant messages. Others may like email. So be mindful of the differences between your team members, and it'll go a lot, can go a lot further in making the transition and the communications easier. Okay. So I know that was kind of quick, but I just want to touch on that because it really hit me when she was talking and said, you have a generational communication gap. Okay. Said definitely. Okay. So I hope that was helpful. Like I said, this was a quick, dirty one, but I want to still be committed to coming on in the evening. I'll be back on at my regular time, starting back tomorrow at 7 o'clock, but I had some technical difficulties, but it's all good. Great nuggets. Thank you, Joanna. So I thank you for joining me this late. Join me again at my regular time at 7 o'clock going forward. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend and a wonderful Easter if you celebrate Easter as a holiday, especially with my summer camp. Yeah, especially with your summer camp. I'm telling you, that generation of communications, I mean, it really is a big deal when you have team members that are of different ages and of different generations. Because I'm a Generation Xer. I don't speak in millennial language. I try to keep up with the times and all this kind of stuff. And I have nieces and nephews that are part of that generation, but I don't speak their language and they don't speak mine a lot of times, which is just fine because we're from different generations and we could think differently. 5-day holiday here in St. Croix. Oh my goodness. I need to come to St. Croix real quick. What is that, surreal? Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. But I hope that made sense. I just wanted to bring that up because that was a lovely young lady I talked to yesterday, and she was just getting kind of frustrated. And I told her probably what she's dealing with was that generational communication gap. I kind of gave her some language of how to speak to the older people that are helping her. Said people are camping. Oh, wow. I know it's beautiful over there. I miss coming to the Virgin Islands. I used to come to the Caribbean all the time. But I will be there soon. Now that I know that you're there, I'll come back. Most definitely. So I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Oh, on the beach. Okay, now you're making me jealous, Joanna. You're making me jealous. You're making me jealous. But awesome. So I appreciate everyone that hung out with me this evening. And again, I'll be back in my regular time, barring any technical difficulties, starting tomorrow at 7 o'clock Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. This is Delmar Johnson, your Chief HR Brain with HR Brain for Hire. Make sure you connect with me on Facebook at HR Brain for Hire as well as Twitter. Check out my site, hrbrainforhire.com. And I hope to see you again on tomorrow evening. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening, everybody. Bye-bye.